Now we're good. We're live.
Okay, so you're entering the Aces and Eights territory, the gambling den run by Xavier. The front of the gambling hall is owned and operated by most of the pack, working under Xavier, where they not only work for the mortals, but anyone else who wants to come into the back to bet basically anything they want. When Lillian Dark enters, she is greeted immediately by a pair of twins, a boy and a girl. They're probably about 19. They don't look like they should be working in any kind of gambling hall, but they're wearing loose black t-shirts and pants and seem very comfortable working there. They approach and speak as one. Welcome to the Aces and Eights gambling hall. What can we do for you?
Hello. I have an appointment with the man running the place.
The girl will speak up, an appointment. And the boy will speak up quickly following. How interesting. We were told of an appointment. Together they will speak as one again. It's very unsettling how they do it so naturally. And as they speak as one again, how quickly do you want to go to this appointment? We have many other entertainments for your perusal.
She'll kind of look around, at the very least, see the vice that is occurring around her and such. Once she's gotten a good look at all of it, she'll look back to the twins and she'll respond with, I appreciate your offer. However, I would not like to keep my appointment waiting.
They will look slightly disappointed that they weren't able to tempt you into the gambling hall for their own uses. But they glance over their shoulders and scatter as another person approaches. A man wearing a kind of casino suit and bow tie. He's got a lit cigarette despite the various no smoking signs posted about as he approaches and looks you up and down, then kind of glances back at the scattering twins who disappear into the casino proper. All right, follow me. I'll take you where you need to go.
She'll nod. Thank you.
No problem. My name is Abel Woods. I assume you are Lillian?
Yes.
He kind of looks at his paper.
That would, in fact, be me.
Good. He'll kind of crumple up the paper and put it in his pocket, and he'll lead you around the casino where most people are playing to a back room that says employees only. And he'll slide the door open. As you guys move through the casino, you notice that two people started kind of tailing and following you. They aren't trying to hide themselves. They're not being obvious about it, but they're not technically trying to hide themselves. One is a beautiful woman. She's blonde, has very ice blue eyes, and is kind of hanging back watching. When you approach the employee's door, she'll go with you. The other is a young man, maybe 21, 22. He's been watching Abel more than you. When you guys go to the door, he kind of backs off, looking disappointed, as if he wanted to speak to Abel about something. The door itself, when it opens, will lead into a long hallway that stretches downwards. Abel will follow you, the blonde woman following in behind, not introducing herself, as the only noise in the hallway is your footsteps echoing across the floor. Did you attempt to make conversation with either of them on the way over?
Do they seem interested in conversation?
Abel doesn't, neither does the woman, although she seems interested in checking you out, I should say. She's looking you up and down, not in a sexual manner, almost as if she's just trying to unravel the mystery that is you.
Lillian, at the very least, will look back at her. She doesn't seem to be necessarily super weirded out. Oh no, let me take that back. She's not. She's still a person ish. A little weirded out, but natural curiosity beats the unsettlement.
All right.
Yeah, Lillian, I don't think is necessarily going to start a conversation. She's pretty well certain that they're just keeping. This is just security, making sure that Lillian doesn't do something crazy.
They will move you to the door at the end of the hallway, and Abel produces a set of keys and unlocks the door, opening it wide and motioning you forward. Inside is another gambling den, although it looks quite a bit different. You can tell that various sorts hang out here. Some may be human, some look like corpses walking around, and some you're quite certain are definitely werewolves since they are walking around hairy, giant people. There are also changelings on the floor.
Question.
Yes?
Are they walking around in Garu form?
No, Dalu. So that's like hairy, big people.
Okay, my bad.
When you take Dalu, you look like that classical man wolf. That's what Dalu is.
Okay. My bad. Still getting used to Forsaken forms.
No problem. It's no big deal. They wouldn't be walking around in Garu. You can't.
I was like, how?
But as you were escorted into this new sort of gambling den, they will lead you directly to where Xavier inhabits. I'm assuming Xavier is overlooking this in some form or manner.
Yes, he is. So he's not the kind that stays back in the monitoring room most of the time. He's walking the floor, walks the halls, shakes hands with the regulars, makes sure that he gives them some small talk. Also, always checks in on the high rollers. You never want to leave the whales hanging. But as soon as he spots the two of them, we'll come over. I see that she made it on time.
She'll nod to.
Go ahead.
Oh, was Xavier speaking to Lillian?
No.
Yes, I was gonna. Oh.
No. Okay.
I'm assuming Xavier was speaking.
Yeah, I was speaking to her escort, actually.
Oh, and she ain't saying shit.
All right. Erica will rave off Abel at this point and look at Xavier and say, appointments are easy to keep when the people actually arrive on time. I will leave this to you as normal.
Wonderful. Thank you.
And she will fall silent.
Lillian, or would you prefer Miss Smith? Or would you prefer Miss Dark? What are you going by?
Just Lillian is fine.
Oh. Always find it interesting when you, well, never mind. Names aren't what's important, are they?
She kind of thinks about that. And she says, in the auspices of what we're meeting about tonight, likely not.
Well, for you, they could mean a lot. For me, what's in the name? So, Lillian, I heard that there was someone by the name of Hanako Himura who was in some trouble.
She stops, looks up. I'm sorry, who?
Oh, just the person that I heard about. Might be of no consequence or interest to you, but they've decided to trip over some things, and unfortunately, what they've tripped over, they might need a way out of.
What has this person tripped over?
A hornet's nest. I might have heard something from one of my customers, one of my patrons. Something about a young woman who just happened to learn about what's just going on behind the scenes in the city.
Well, this Hanako, I she'll consider her next few words. I hope that she is safe.
She's safe for now, but she might not be safe in a few days. So, come offering you some options. People like you who have nothing to worry about, they find it the easiest time to gamble, to relax in my establishment. We have all sorts of solutions, and maybe you could sell this solution to your friend or not.
What options are you putting on the table for this Hanako?
Well, Hanako has something that would be of great interest to me. We could do a simple trade. Or if you're feeling lucky, you could always attempt to win the prize without having to pay a thing.
What would you want in trade, though?
Oh, information. The best kind of information. I want to know just what your court is up to.
She'll say, she'll say calmly, unfortunately, as tempting as that deal sounds, I lack much of the clout needed to necessarily know about many of the things that go on in my court.
You do. And I know this, which is why he says, spinning his coin in his fingers, where did he get that coin? You never saw it before. It glitters strangely in the light, like a piece of gold, only far too shiny. He'll take it, put it into her hand. All you have to do is take this to Safe Storage Solutions. We'll say lot 11. Put it inside. I don't care where, corner, ceiling. Tape it to a wall. You do that for me, we're square. And I will give you a way out.
And what if I decide that for one reason or another I would be reluctant to go behind my court's back in such a way?
Tables are always open.
Erica kind of snorts when she mentions the courts and going behind their back, but otherwise remains very calm.
Let's see how ham would Lillian go, really? What kind of games are being played over here, Matt?
Well, some of them she recognizes. Roulette, blackjack, poker, Texas Hold'em to be specific. For those who are more inclined, there's also baccarat. There happens to be craps. And a few arcane ones she can't identify, such as one where there are two people just sitting across a empty table, staring at each other. Every now and again, the table crackles with a different color light. At another one, they're playing with tarot cards. You're not sure what they're doing with it, but there it is. And still another one looks a little bit more familiar. Reminds her of a bingo parlor.
You could always fight Abel, Erica says, laughing. It's a clear joke as she doesn't think this girl could handle Abel, but it's definitely still an option.
I'd wager some money on that one. So what about it? We have plenty of options. Or you can do this one little favor for me.
Why are you so interested in what my court is up to?
Why? I don't believe that was part of the agreement, was it?
No.
I'll play you for it. Beat me at a game of cards and I'll tell you why.
She's not necessarily she Lillian definitely knows a hustler when she sees one. She's going to say, I think I'm fine in that regard, thank you.
So, you do this for me, and I get you out of the trouble that you've gotten yourself into.
I mean, what would necessarily be coming for me in the first place?
What type of people move around billions of dollars out in the open? Ones who are confident they're not going to get caught or no one will care. $1 billion can buy you quite a lot. I mean, the emotions around the gambling hall. Not everything, of course.
She'll nod. She'll say, that makes sense.
I can say they're people who make the ones that you ran into outside the candy chest look like amateurs.
You're very well informed.
I have to be. After all, look where I am. My my security detail has to be fairly sharp. He is grinning ear to ear at this point. The ones coming after you are not going to come with stun guns. They're not going to come at you with some guy who's going to try to intimidate you with one of those Uzis. The ones coming after you. Well, I think I've said too much. he will set the coin, which you didn't realize he had taken from your hand, and place it onto a table. Offers on the table. Anytime you want to come by.
She'll nod. And she'll say, well, obviously, I will need some time to consider what you have asked me.
Don't take too long. And in the meantime, if you want to just have some fun, feel free to come on by. Yeah, your tab is open.
She'll look around at that and she'll say, I humbly appreciate that.
And if I might say, I would be more than happy to bring one of our games to you, if need be.
Very accommodating.
I try to be. Well, that was my offer. If you'll excuse me, while you're thinking about it, I have a floor to watch.
Of course. I won't want to take more of your time than I already have.
Appreciate it. After all, he says, walking away, thumbs in his pocket. Time is money. Turns around and goes back to glad handing all the big rollers, leaving her alone with, well, security.
She'll look to the beautiful woman, and in the first words that she's really said to her all night, she'll ask, I believe it is now time for you to escort me out.
Erica nods, and she'll lead you to the door. As she opens it, go ahead and roll a perception -2.
Okay. Just a sec.
Don't forget, since it's perception, to add in your acute senses.
Acute senses.
Trust me, they're not nearly as good as werewolf ones.
Werewolves always have wolf senses.
Yep.
I've got 3 successes.
Yep.
Okay. Although she opens the same door she took you in, the hallway is extremely different. It's not enough that it's like throws you something you'd catch right away, but it slants kind of downward and upward. The color's a bit off, and you're pretty sure there's a door on the left side of the hallway that wasn't there before. It completely throws you off. As you're walking down the completely silent hallway yet again, Erica will speak up. You should take the deal. It's honestly more generous than I see him often, and that is the honest truth.
I know not of where you come from, but in my, she'll think, in my social circles, there's a high premium placed upon loyalty.
Then you should play the games.
I'll consider it.
Luck is always on the side of those who most need it here.
What's the saying? Yes. The house always wins? Always.
She smiles. It always depends on if both of them can win, though. A lot of people know that the house always wins. What they don't know is that you can win with them. She opens the door at the end of the hallway, and it opens up to a different part of the casino than you entered before. And you're so confused by this, but you probably aren't going to say anything, I'm assuming.
Nah, not really. She thinks it's interesting as fuck, though. Like she'd be lying if she didn't find it interesting.
She'll lead you to the front and say, if you wish to peruse the more mundane establishment, please feel free, and the twins will help you out. They're eager to see you gamble, after all. And we will see you again. She says that with a finality, not like in, we might see you again, but we will see you again. And then she will walk away.
Alrighty, and on that point, Lillian will start to make her way on out.
All right. And as the scene comes to an end, Xavier comes up next to Erica out of a door from nowhere. That little portaling trick of theirs is quite amazing, as closes the door and with a rush of what smells like vines and grass behind him. So how receptive do you think she is? Corey?
He may just
You
need a
cut
minute
out for
to
me. I'm
unmute.
sorry. I said you cut out, but my thing was on mute.
He Xavier comes out from a doorway, the smell of vines and grass behind him, that portaling trick he has, quite impressive. And as he closes the door, he looks at Erica. How receptive did she seem?
Erica will speak up as Abel also approaches. She will be back, whether to take the deal or to gamble, but she will be back. It's almost assured at this point.
Then the plan's in motion. And with that,
Erica will nod.
And with that, our scene concludes. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. Have a wonderful day.